Everybody, I hope you're all doing super well. For this live, I decided that we were going to cook a nice healthy dinner together. Follow along with me. Quick backstory. I love to cook, like most like most people like to eat. So I like to cook. I spent a lot of time with my grandmas. Honestly, I had an uncle who was a really good cook. So, I know a little bit, not a professional, but I definitely know more than your average person. So we're going to cook a little bit of food today. So first things first, let's pull our hair back. Let's get this up as neat as we can. And then we will wash our hands. I don't have any paper towels out here. I'll be right back. Wash my hands up. Maybe we be smart about this. And I don't have any paper towels. I got plenty of those. All right, we are doing jasmine rice, tuna steak, and some vegetables. We need to get the rice going first. Now, I do have a rice cooker, but the main trick with, oh yeah, and if you guys have been following along, I finished cleaning the apartment. Look how clean the apartment looks. It's lived in, but if you watched a couple lives ago, my apartment was not looking super great. Anyways, the trick with rice is that you need to, they say rinse, but you kind of it's like a multi-process. And I'll tell you what I know about it. So, and then also with rice, it's very, very important to measure it out very, very well, because in your rice cooker, it's equal parts rice, equal parts water. So I'm going to use 1 cup of rice. I'm going to put that into a clean bowl. Now, I'm done with this. So we're going to wrap it up. Here's my pro tip of the day. Clothes hangers. They're super cheap. They're great. They not only hold clothes, but they can close bags too. They're awesome. So with rice, you really want to make sure you use cold water. You really want to soak it in there and then kind of move the rice around just a little bit. I did just wash my hands nice and thoroughly, and I did it up to food grade standards. All right, so that's what you're looking for. See how the water is like murky now? It's like super murky. So now we want to dump all that murky water out. I'm using a pasta strainer. You can use all sorts of different strainer options, but I'm using a pasta strainer. You're just going to get all that water out, and you're going to repeat that process. There's some rice kernels left in there. No big deal. But if you can look at it, it's a little murky, but not super murky. We're basically going to do this a few times. If you're like super hypo, I don't know, finger stuff, you could use a fork here. But this is just for me, so I'm using my hands. Yeah, you just want to stir it up till the water gets nice and murky, and then we repeat that process. And we're going to do that, I don't know, probably about 4 more times. Now, if you've ever had rice at a restaurant and you wonder why your rice isn't as good as your restaurant quality, this is the reason right here. Uncle Roger taught me. Taught me well. So we're going to keep stirring this up. Yep. Nice and murky. Back. Are you teaching a recipe? Oh, starch. Yes, that's you're exactly right, deleted user. I am removing the starch right now from the rice. You're exactly right. Anti-Spiral, what's up? I hope you're doing super well. Hey, Ava Goodman. Hi. And the Riz. August and Joshua and the Riz. What a name. Hello, everybody. I'll in my comments after this, I will post the full actual recipe of my tuna steak, rice, and frozen veggie recipe. We're almost done here. The rice is starting to look good. You can already tell how the water is starting to really clear up, but we're just going to do it a couple more times because I really want to remove all that starch. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. Anti-Spiral, one more time. I'm doing a tuna steak. I'm doing jasmine white rice, and then I have some mixed frozen veggies. It's like onions, bell peppers, that type of thing. I'll show here. We're doing jasmine white rice. We're doing stir fry, onions, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers. It's just some frozen food. I would prefer if it was fresh, but you know, we all got to do what we all got to do. And then here's my tuna steak. It was frozen. I pulled it out last night. It is a ½ pound of tuna steak. So we're gonna mix all that wonderful goodness together. And in all honesty, that rice is looking prime time. So I'm going to pour that all out. We're going to move the camera to the different, to the actual cooking station. Maybe like this. Yeah, that's much better. Now we're on the actual cooking station side. Sure. Now this is on, so I can put that there. If you like rice cooker. Yes, I love all the peppers too. I'm making tuna steak, frozen peppers, and jasmine white rice. If you're just joining us, but yeah, if you like rice, get a rice cooker. If you don't have a lot of money, they sell them at Goodwill. And they sell them very cheaply. And honestly, if you like rice, it's a great purchase. Mine also came with a veggie steamer. If my vegetables were not frozen, I would be using this, but they are frozen, so we're going to use a skillet for that. So 1 cup of jasmine white rice that we rinsed thoroughly. Oh, look at, I'm making a mess. That we rinsed thoroughly. I'm going to pour all of that right in there. And thank goodness we come prepared. And it looks like there's just a little bit of rice and a little bit of water. No big deal, but we'll just do a quick cleanup and then we'll sweep later. All right, so cup of rice is in there. I like to kind of even it out, make it as flat as humanly possible. 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water. And then the other thing that a lot of people say is that you kind of want the water to just cover the rice. And as you can tell, it's doing that. But the 1 cup, and it's totally standard. So if you want to use a ½ cup, 2 cups, whatever, it's equal ratio, rice to water. Super easy. In the rice cooker, if you're doing it on the stovetop, there's a little bit of water difference there. So that's why I recommend the rice cooker, but you know, do you. Super simple. There's warm and there's cook. rice is cooking. We're going to put the rice aside. The next thing that we need to get going is our veggies. I am going to put my tuna steak back in the fridge for the moment. Just a simple stainless steel skillet. Very, very simple here. Also, you can get these incredibly cheap. I'm not big into nonstick. I stay away from nonstick. So it's cast iron or stainless steel for me. And stainless steel is definitely incredibly affordable and incredibly easy to clean. Versatile. You can take them camping. They're lightweight. I love them. So, I mean, honestly, stainless steel doesn't get enough love. So here's a little stainless steel love. You should give it a shot. In this particular case, because I'm going to go, yeah, I got some olive oil. I wish I had some not olive oil. Olive oil is better for low temp cooking, not really for frying, but this is what I got, so this is what we're going to use. You don't wash it. Oh, Turbo Times. I washed it. I rinsed it in the very beginning of the video. Probably again, I did it probably like 10 times until it wasn't murky. We cleaned up that rice nice and good, my friend. Someone taught me well. Jasmine rice. I don't know. So that's the whole thing. It's like I hear fighting things, but my biggest thing that I always hear is that white rice from the store, not good. So that's what you're looking for. If it says like long grain, short grain, white rice, that's like GMO, not real rice. Jasmine rice is just jasmine rice. It's a type of rice. The same thing with basmati. Jasmine and basmati are my go-to. They're, from what I've been told, are incredibly healthy options, and in fact, healthier options than brown rice. Brown rice does have a place in there, but there's a reason why we take the husk off. I'll just say that. If you want to do your own research, do your own research. This is the stove. The stovetop is on. I'm just going to let this get hot. Try not to go too hot on there. But again, really, if we're going to get down into the nitty gritty of it, go with quinoa. You know, if you're, again, there is a healthier option than rice. It's called quinoa. It's good. I ain't gonna lie. I usually go with rice because it fits in with my dietary restrictions, my dietary needs, and all that good stuff. And right now, I was on about 1,800 calories a day. I boosted it up to about 2,000, 2,300. I weighed myself this afternoon. I was 149 pretty much the whole day, give or point some, less than half weight percentage. I can actually start to smell the oil cooking up, and I'm going to use the rest of this bag. I'm going to get that in there. Because once again, I don't want the oil to get too hot here, and we're going to continuously stir that. That's the name of the game. Any other questions, fam? Try to ask away. And if you have a drink, cheers, mate. And the other thing is I'm going to cook everything in this one skillet right here. And then obviously the rice cooker. But that's the game plan right now. That is the game plan. Boom. Maybe we'll keep the plate closest to there. That looks good. While that heats up, I think we have enough time to take a side break over into here. So where am I? This is what I consider my gaming. Just a personal question, but how long did it take you to grow your beard? Oh, you know what? Thank you. But honestly, I'm 36 years old. This is the best it grows in. This is about 4 months of hair growth. I've done a little trimming, a little touch-ups here and there, mainly around the lips and around the neck because it just doesn't grow in there for me. But you know, don't give up on your beard. And then also the other thing is like you got to do a lot of different things. Like people say, oh, shave a lot, and people say, oh, use an electric razor, and they say all the, you know, use beard oils, don't use beard oils. The trick is do everything. So for the year, like 3 months out of the year, use a straight razor and shave every day. And then the next 3 months, do something different. And then you'll notice what's making your beard grow the best. And then go from there, you know, because we're all different. That's the best thing is we're all we're all very, very different human beings. And so, you know, what works for one person might not necessarily work for you. But that's where I'm at. I use a lot of maybe not a lot, but I don't like traditional deodorant, so I make my own essential oil blends. The base of it is jojoba oil or jojoba, you know, JOJOABA. So I'm not sure if it's South American or what. So if I'm saying it wrong, let me know. No worries. But it's really good. Jojoba oil is really good for your skin and your hair. So it's great to put on your face. It's great to put on your beard. It's great to put in your hair. And then if you mix it with some essential oils, then you get a natural deodorant. I also believe in the pheromone checks. So again, it's the science at least here is that pheromones are a thing and they do work. Do they work with essential oils? That's up to you. I think they do work, and I think it depending on what oils I put together, it attracts different type of people because I'm kind of changing up my scent. And then also, essential oils are about working with your natural body chemistry, your natural smell. Everybody has a natural smell, and you know that's your good natural smell is a good thing, but when you have BO, it's a bad thing. So there's just this balance there. And in all honesty, nobody has ever, since I got off of deodorant, has said that I had BO. Again, they usually will notice. They're like, "Oh, you kind of smell like trees," or you kind of smell like the beach. Were you just at the beach for the day?" And I was like, "No, I just put sandalwood in my essential oil bid." I'm hearing the peppers starting to sizzle over there. I gotta make this a little quicker. So I am gonna keep this off camera, but I am smoking. It's just some weeds, just some tobacco, nothing fancy, but for you, Mom, so you don't see what I'm doing. All right, let's go look at our peppers, see how we're doing. And again, any other personal questions? If it's too personal, I'll let you know, but feel free to fire away some questions. See, that's what we're looking for. See that? You see that shizzle? Sorry, can we see it? There it is. That sizzle. Ooh, yeah. All right, we got to do a little stir action there. Once again, I don't like non-stick stuff. This is a bamboo, whatever spoon. It is great for stirring. They're very, very cheap. You can get a batch of them, like all the accoutrements. Yes, it's wood, so yes, eventually I'm going to have to throw these away much sooner than if you have a really nice plastic spatula. And then again, I guess the other option is silicone. Silicone is natural, comes from the earth. So if you go silicone, I'm not judging you, but plastics, non-stick stuff, like let's stay away from it, please and thank you. What for you to stop smoking? I mean, that's a very interesting question. I've had to stop smoking a few different times throughout my life. If I needed to get a job, and then like the other big times personally when I don't smoke is when I'm sick, because I notice that if I smoke when I'm sick, my recovery time is stupid. So yeah, no, there are times where I don't smoke, but I live in Oregon. I'm allowed to. I'm allowed. It's not illegal. I'm not breaking any laws. I don't know about the YouTube standards. I think I see people smoking online all the time. But once again, my mom does know about my YouTube page. She does know I smoke. She's not like unaware of my lifestyle. But you know, I work hard. I work 40 hours a week. This is my apartment. I hold down. You know, I pay all my bills. Nobody's helping me. It's just Sean. And, you know, I live a pretty fantastic life, if I do say so myself. But I don't know. I guess to answer your question, I'd be willing to quit smoking for one whole month for probably like, let's say, what would be a month's paycheck? So we're gonna go like a lot higher than my month's paycheck. So I'm gonna say like $6,000 for 1 month. I'd quit smoking for an entire month, 31 days if you want to call it that, or whatever the full month is. We won't pick February, which I think is the short month. What about anybody else up in here? How do you guys feel about the smoking? Or again, here's a better question. How do you feel about drinking versus smoking? Because I feel like in America, this is much more accepted. And again, it's the end of my day. I already went to work. I'm at home. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't got no kids. So, you know, I'm at least mostly responsibility free right now. And we're going to level this out. Get it off the heat too. That helps. And you know what? I am going to throw on a 5-minute timer. This thing doesn't sound super pleasant, so in 5 minutes, I'm sorry. I will turn it off as quickly as I humanly possibly can. Wait, you live? Yeah, yes, I totally live alone. Yes, sir. I had a cat, but I don't want to say it's about 6 months ago. She did pass away, but she did have a great life. But honestly, I kind of been enjoying the lack of responsibilities. Dude, hey, if you know some money secrets, let me know. I do have mutual funds and some variety of different stocks. My stocks, I do Dividend Kings, and if you don't know what a Dividend King is, look it up. But Pepsi and Coke are both Dividend Kings, so that's usually where I put most of my stock money. But I did go to college. I did get a bachelor's degree, but I got a liberal arts degree. So if you're in school right now, don't get a liberal arts degree. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not really going to help you progress in life. In all honesty, I wish I went to like a technical school. My buddies who are in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, aviation, they're pulling a much nicer paycheck than I am. But yeah, if you anti-spiral, if you know some tricks about how I can make a little more money and all that good stuff, by all means, let me know. I'm all ears. But yeah, I moved out when I was 18 years old. And in all honesty, I was still in high school at the time. But my senior year, I had to take 2 classes to graduate. And then all of my other classes were home studies. And so I literally would jet into school right before lunch, do 2 periods, and then leave. So like I literally would go surfing in the morning, come to school, be like, yeah, I'm going to go jet to Six Flags for the rest of my day. I'll catch you later, shitty. But again, at that time, I was working 40 hours a week. I was an assistant manager at Pacific Sunwear at that time. Right now, I am in memory care. And I am the activities coordinator. That's what I do. So yeah, the veggies are definitely starting to get done now, for sure. See how they're starting to shrink up? That's what we're looking for, which is awesome. But yeah, no, I totally appreciate all the good comments, folks. Keep them coming. I'm going to try one of these peppers. Oh, no worries that you're new to English, mate. Let's see. My take home is $4,000 a month right now, but my bills right now is about $2,000. The apartment is what is it? $1,050 alone. Just my apartment is $1,500 a month. So that's like a third of my paycheck right there. And then I have a car, and that takes another nice good chunk of my money. And then I gotta have food and some entertainment and all that other stuff. So I live in Oregon, but it's not cheap to live here in the States. And then what was your other question? Oh, and I work in memory care. I work with residents who have Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm the activities coordinator. So I'm like the second in command of activities. I have a boss above me, but we have people below me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, those veggies are looking good. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit, but we are going to throw this back on there. See how some of the veggies are kind of sticking still? No worries there. They're coming off, and honestly, some of the veggies, boom. Okay. Told you I'd turn that off as quickly as I could. Now, there's a little bit of oil left in that pan, and we're going to get my tuna steak on there. But yeah, I work in, I don't know. Again, my job's honestly a whole lot of fun, but I definitely have been looking to get into a position where I get paid a little more. But we'll see how all of that pans out. So this honestly should not take very long. The tuna steak should cook real quick. And the rice is not done cooking yet. It's still going. You know what? You could. There again. Follow along or pick up a recipe. And if you think that you can't cook, I know you can follow instructions. I know you can do it. And again, start small. If you're like, I really can't cook, get something like this. This is boxed potatoes. It's super simple. It's not microwavable. You do have to cook it. But there's multiple options. You can cook it in the oven. You could cook it on the stovetop. I prefer to cook it on the stovetop. But it literally has 2 directions to follow. So you start with something like this, so you get comfortable using the stovetop. I'm actually, I don't need the timer. I can see it. But you want to get comfortable with stuff like this. And then once you get comfortable with using the stovetop, maybe graduate to like scrambled eggs. Also, super, super easy. And then after scrambled eggs, like grilled cheese, you know? So it's like, maybe don't jump into here and make a meal like this because, again, my parents were divorced. When I was 2, they got divorced. So my entire life, I grew up without my parents living together. And my mom worked, and I lived with my mom. And so if I wanted to eat food, I had to cook. I had to make food. And then also, I said I could see it. Yeah, see how this is the color change? The white's starting to move up. And then also, they're starting to have some fat come off. All of that looks real good. I am going to top it. Topping it just like holds in the heat a little better. So it should help to cook it through the middle a little more. Because right now, it's not moving the way that I want it to. And it's not cooking the way I want it to. So I'm going to throw on the top for just a quick minute and see if that helps. And oh, my rice popped off. Awesome. It's done. So I like to pull off a little rice. Ooh, that's hot. I like to pull off a little rice and taste it. It's still on the warm setting. If it's really done, I will turn it off the warm setting. Yeah. So I'm just going to unplug that bad boy. We'll sit that in there with the top on. That's good. That's good. Good rice. I'm very happy that I rinsed my rice. That's the pro tip for rice, is that you need to rinse it and rinse it well. Oh yeah, there we go. That's starting to look like the color that I'm looking for. Hey, and just, you know what, Anti-Spiral, I really appreciate all your questions, my friend. I'm glad that you're interested and curious. That's kind of like the biggest thing, is that, yeah, you should ask, you got to ask questions. And I guess, you know what I should ask, and I'll ask now, is, I guess, how many languages do you speak? And if you don't mind sharing, what's your first language? And you know what? I'll go first. My first language is English. And I can't say that I speak any language fluently. But, yeah, no, I should keep an eye on the tuna steak. That's going to cook too fast. But I do speak a little bit of Spanish. Me llamo Sean. Honestly, I know Spanish is probably the most that I can speak. I can definitely get around. For my Spanish speakers out there, necesito las cervezas, necesito el baño. That's I need a beer. That means I need a bathroom. Or quiero is probably a better way to say I want. Quiero las cervezas, or quiero más las cervezas. I want a lot of them. Comida is food. I know my colors a little bit. My big claim to fame, I used to be able to count to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. See, I don't know 14 anymore, but then it's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 200? 30? I can't remember 20. 30, 14. There we go. That's a good color. I think I'm just going to take that off, put that in there. Ooh. Might have let that go a little too long. Oh, no. Pro tip is you should always flip easily. And that's a nice sear. A nice sear on the end there. But still nice and pink in the middle with its tuna. So you could eat this raw. So you don't want to overcook your tuna, especially your tuna steak. So honestly, I'm just going to let that be on there for just a couple more minutes. And if that's the case, I'm going to throw back on the veggies. Try to keep the rice out of there. I want to keep the rice separate. Alright. Now we got a little soy sauce and a little teriyaki sauce that I'm going to add to that. Or maybe just soy sauce. I might be out of teriyaki. Oh, no, there it is. Teriyaki, soy sauce. Now, I go really, really light on this. You like to go heavier, you can go heavier. I'm going to start with the teriyaki. The soy sauce is going to cook real quick. And you know what? I'm going to spread out these veggies a little better because I do want them to brown up a little more. Let's give that another good shake. I got a little on my hand, but we'll give that another good shake. And again, real light for me. Here. So you can see it. Come on. There it is. A nice, real light drizzle. That's all you want. I wish you guys could smell that through the camera. All right. Now for the soy sauce. Again, I like to go super light. There we go. Put those back in the fridge. What I did was take off some of the fat on the sides and get it to render in the pan. It's going to add some good flavor. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty done right there. So there's the other side. Ooh, hot. There's the more cooked side. I could have cooked it a little bit longer if I wanted. That was good. But we're not going to. I'm going to keep everything separate for now. Normally I would top it, but I want you guys to see the tuna steak when I cut it. Or I'm not even going to cut it. I'm just going to put my fork on it. This is going to stay hot for quite some time, so it is good to put it on a non-hot one. And I'm definitely not going to eat a cup of rice right now. I'll probably eat about half of it. This can go in the... I'm going to reheat it. So we're going to put that there. So I'm going to probably eat about half of it. And then you definitely want to let it cool down quite a bit. Not even quite a bit. Let it cool down. And then once it's cooled down, then you can put it into a Tupperware and put it in your fridge. And it'll stay pretty good for quite some time. That's good rice. But it should stay pretty good for quite some time. And that is exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly the color we want. That is delicious. Again, you might like it a little less done, but honestly, a lot of people freak out when they see pink. But this is fish. This is tuna. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Honestly, maybe even slightly more overdone than some people like. But this, to me, is perfect. And again, do not worry if there's some pink in your tuna. That is the color you're looking for. And then, yeah, got to do a taste test. And if you can see, I'm just cutting it buttery smooth with a fork. Again, not even cutting it. It's just flaking apart, like beautiful. Bussin'. Bustin', let's try the veggies. Mmm. You know what? Those have been in there for just over a week. They're still popping. And I did already eat the jasmine rice, but it was also fire. But normally, the way I like to eat this is you just take everything and you kind of top it together. And you get some rice, some veggies, a little tuna. Oh, I got it. There we go. There's all the goodness in one bite. Slapping. Sorry, anti-spiral. But I am going to sit down. I'm going to actually eat this like a civilized human being. Thank you so much for all hanging out with me. Yeah, we'll do this again sometime. Anti-spiral, thank you. You were the #1 fan, for sure, top fan this round. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. You speak 3. And your first language is Azerbaijani. I did it. Azerbaijani? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard it spoken, but I swear I've seen that or heard that said the way that's properly spoken. But no, that's awesome, my friend. I wish I could speak fluently more than one language. So you're an amazing human being, my friend. I'll catch you guys all later. Later.